This is one of the most popular foods in the world, and I can't believe people still think it's good for them. As a nutritionist, I've seen firsthand the damage it causes, not just to your energy, but to your focus, mood, and overall sense of vitality. The scary part? It starts working against you within minutes of eating it. You might have it for breakfast, reach for it as a quick snack, or even give it to your kids, without realizing it's quietly draining your stamina. Today, I'll reveal exactly what it is, why it's sabotaging you, and what to eat instead to keep your energy steady all day. Picture this. It's Monday morning, and you're determined to start the week off right. You wake up, get ready, and fix yourself what you believe is a healthy breakfast, something quick, convenient, and light. You feel good as you head out the door, ready to tackle your to-do list. For the first hour or two, everything's fine. You're focused, your mood is steady, and you're checking tasks off. But then, somewhere around 10:30 a.m., it hits. That sudden heaviness in your eyelids, the brain fog that makes even simple emails feel like a chore, the subtle irritability that creeps in for no obvious reason. You glance at the clock, wondering how you're going to make it to lunch without another coffee or a snack. Sound familiar? This is the reality for so many people, and the frustrating part is that it's not just about being tired. When your energy dips, it impacts everything. Your productivity drops, your patience runs thin, and your ability to think clearly takes a hit. And it's not just mental performance. Your mood is closely tied to your energy levels, which means that those crashes can make you more anxious, more short-tempered, or more unmotivated than you'd like to admit. The truth is, stable energy isn't just about feeling awake. It's the foundation for how you show up in every part of your life. When your body can maintain a steady supply of fuel, your brain works better, your hormones stay balanced, and your stress response is calmer. You're sharper in meetings, more engaged in conversations, and less likely to reach for that sugary snack or caffeine boost just to make it through the day. But here's the problem. Many people live on what I call the roller coaster diet, where your blood sugar spikes high and then crashes low over and over again. Each spike feels like a burst of energy, until it's followed by that inevitable slump. And more often than not, this pattern starts with one very specific type of food that's cleverly marketed as wholesome, but is actually setting you up for this cycle. It's a food so common, so ingrained in our daily routines, that most people don't think twice about it. And yet, it could be the single biggest reason you feel drained before the day is even half over. We'll talk about exactly what it is in just a moment. That food is flavored yogurt. Yes, the same creamy, fruit-swirled cup that's been sold to us for decades as a wholesome, guilt-free choice. It's in almost every supermarket, lined up in bright, inviting packaging with pictures of fresh berries, honey drizzles, and words like low-fat, probiotic, and heart-healthy splashed across the label. For many people, it's the go-to breakfast when there's no time to cook or the quick afternoon snack they feel good about grabbing instead of a candy bar. It feels like the smarter choice, until you look closer. If we had a camera in the grocery store right now, we'd see an entire aisle dedicated to it. Shelf after shelf of little cups in pastel colors, stacked neatly in refrigerated cases. The marketing is flawless. It tells you this is the healthy option, that it's light, energizing, even immune-boosting. You'll see ads of fit, smiling people spooning it happily at their desks or in sunny kitchens. The message is clear. Eat this, and you're taking care of yourself. But here's the shocking truth. Many flavored yogurts contain as much sugar as a dessert. In fact, a single small serving can pack 15 to 20 grams of sugar, sometimes more, putting it on par with eating a scoop of ice cream for breakfast. The problem is, because it's dressed up as health food, most people don't even think to question it. The numbers are staggering. Industry reports show that millions of households buy flavored yogurt every week. And in some countries, more than 60% of yogurt sales are for sweetened varieties. It's a daily habit for so many. Kids have it in their lunchboxes, adults keep it in their office fridge. And because yogurt has that healthy reputation, people often feel zero guilt about eating it every single day. The truth is, that sweet hit you get from flavored yogurt is the very thing setting you up for a mid-morning crash. And once you understand how, it'll change the way you look at that little cup forever. Here's what happens the moment you peel back the lid on that flavored yogurt and take the first creamy, sweet spoonful. Your body recognizes the sugar almost instantly. Within minutes, it's broken down into glucose, which floods into your bloodstream. Now, your body loves glucose. It's the simplest form of fuel your cells can use, but it also needs to keep that glucose level in a safe, narrow range. So, your pancreas jumps into action, releasing a hormone called insulin. Think of insulin as the traffic controller for sugar in your blood. It helps shuttle glucose out of the bloodstream and into your cells where it can be used for energy. The problem is, when a food is loaded with sugar but low in fiber or protein, like most flavored yogurts, glucose enters your bloodstream very quickly. Your blood sugar shoots up fast, like lighting a match. You get a quick burst of energy because your brain and muscles are suddenly awash in fuel. For a short while, you might feel sharper, more alert, even a little buzzed. But your body doesn't like big spikes. High blood sugar triggers your pancreas to release a lot of insulin to bring levels down quickly. That's where the trouble begins. All that insulin works so efficiently that your blood sugar doesn't just drop back to normal, it can dip lower than it started. And when your blood sugar drops, your brain perceives it as an emergency. You might start feeling sluggish, unfocused, or even shaky. This is the classic energy crash. It's like using kindling to start a fire. Sure, it flares up instantly, but it burns out fast, leaving you scrambling for more fuel. What your body actually needs is a slow-burning log that keeps the fire steady for hours. Foods with a balance of protein, healthy fats, and fiber. Flavored yogurt, despite its healthy image, is often just a matchstick. Quick light, quick out. This isn't just theory. Research backs it up. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that foods with a high glycemic index, meaning they cause rapid spikes in blood sugar, are strongly associated with increased fatigue and reduced cognitive performance just a few hours later. Another study in Nutrients showed that diets high in added sugars are linked to greater variability in blood glucose, which correlates with more frequent mood swings and lower sustained energy levels. What's more, when your blood sugar dips, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to try to bring it back up. This is why that mid-morning crash doesn't just make you tired. It can also make you irritable, anxious, or suddenly crave another hit of sugar or caffeine. It's a biological loop. Spike, crash, crave, repeat. And if you're eating flavored yogurt every day, you might be riding that roller coaster without realizing it. The saddest part is that these crashes are avoidable. If the sugar wasn't so high, or if the yogurt came naturally balanced with more protein and fat, you'd get a steadier release of energy. But as it stands, most flavored yogurts are engineered for taste first, not blood sugar stability. And while that first spoonful might feel comforting and delicious, what it sets in motion inside your body is anything but energizing. If you've ever turned a flavored yogurt cup around and actually read the label, you might have been shocked, or maybe confused, by what you saw. That cheerful image on the front, with ripe strawberries and a drizzle of honey, is just clever design. Flip it over, and the reality tells a very different story. Many flavored yogurts pack anywhere from 15 to 25 grams of sugar in a single serving. That's 4 to 6 teaspoons. And it's not just the sugar you'd expect from the fruit. Most of it comes from added sweeteners, which are listed in the ingredients in ways that make them easy to miss. Food companies know you're looking for sugar on the label, so they use a trick. They split it up under different names. Instead of just sugar, you might see cane juice, fructose, corn syrup, evaporated cane syrup, glucose, fruit juice concentrate, or maltodextrin. Each one is technically a different ingredient, but your body processes them all in much the same way, by turning them into glucose. By breaking them up in the list, manufacturers can make it look like sugar isn't the first or second ingredient, even though the total amount is still high. Then there are the artificial additives. Many flavored yogurts use natural flavors, which sounds wholesome but is really just a catch-all term for chemically processed compounds that mimic fruit taste. You might also see artificial colors, often unnecessary, but added to make the yogurt look more like the flavor it's imitating. And don't forget preservatives, like potassium sorbate, which keep the product shelf-stable for weeks but don't do anything for your health. Some brands even add processed oils, like soybean or canola oil, to create a richer mouthfeel. While not inherently toxic, these oils are often highly refined and can contribute to inflammation when consumed in excess. They have no place in something that's supposed to be simple fermented milk with fruit. The marketing, however, is where flavored yogurt really earns its health halo. Phrases like low-fat or fat-free catch the eye, making you think you're making a virtuous choice. The problem? Removing fat often means adding more sugar to keep the flavor appealing. You'll also see big call-outs for contains probiotics or a good source of calcium, which are true, but they distract from the sugar content. It's like sprinkling spinach on top of a cupcake and calling it a health food. From a glycemic standpoint, flavored yogurt is a high glycemic food, especially when it's low in fat and protein. This means it quickly raises your blood sugar, leading to the same spike and crash cycle we talked about earlier. And because the sugar comes from multiple sources, some obvious, some hidden, you're often getting a bigger hit than you realize. Once you learn to see past the front of the package and read the fine print, it's hard to look at that healthy cup the same way again. What you thought was a simple, wholesome snack is often just a dessert in disguise. What most people don't realize is that the effects of flavored yogurt aren't just physical. They're emotional and mental, too. When your blood sugar spikes and then drops, your brain is one of the first organs to feel it. That dip in glucose can leave you in a haze, struggling to find the right words or remember simple details. It's the kind of brain fog where you reread the same email 3 times before it sinks in, where you suddenly forget why you walked into a room. Alongside that mental cloudiness comes a shift in mood. Low blood sugar can trigger irritability, making you snap at things that wouldn't normally bother you. You might also notice a wave of anxiety or restlessness as your body releases stress hormones to bring your glucose levels back up. It's not all in your head. It's a biochemical reaction, and it can happen just a couple of hours after eating something like flavored yogurt. I once worked with a client, let's call her Sarah, who came to me convinced that something was wrong with her attention span. She said she felt scatterbrained most mornings at work, and by 10:30 a.m., she'd already be on her second coffee just to get through her meetings. When I asked about her breakfast, she told me she always had a cup of low-fat strawberry yogurt because she thought it was a healthy, light way to start the day. We swapped it out for a higher protein, unsweetened option paired with some berries and nuts. Within a week, Sarah noticed she could focus for longer stretches without that mid-morning slump. She wasn't snapping at her coworkers or feeling jittery before lunch. The change wasn't magic. It was simply keeping her blood sugar more stable, which meant her brain had a steady supply of fuel. Moments like that are a reminder. The food you eat isn't just feeding your body. It's feeding your mood, your focus, and your overall mental clarity. And when something as small as switching a yogurt can make you calmer, sharper, and more present, it's hard to ignore. Eating flavored yogurt once in a while isn't going to ruin your health, but the problem is that for many people, it's not an occasional treat, it's a daily habit. And when you start most mornings with a sugar spike, day after day, year after year, the effects can quietly build up in ways you don't notice at first. Over time, your body becomes less sensitive to insulin, the hormone that helps move sugar from your blood into your cells. This is called insulin resistance, and it's one of the early warning signs for more serious metabolic issues down the road, including type 2 diabetes. Frequent blood sugar spikes can also contribute to gradual weight gain. It's not just about calories in, calories out. When your insulin levels are constantly elevated, your body is more likely to store energy as fat, especially around the midsection. This can happen even if you're eating what feels like a light breakfast every morning. Another hidden consequence is inflammation. Diets high in added sugars have been linked in multiple studies to chronic, low-grade inflammation in the body. This isn't the kind of swelling you can see. It's happening internally, and it can affect everything from your joint health to your cardiovascular system. Inflammation is like a slow burn that wears down your body's resilience over time, making it harder to recover from illness, injury, or even daily stress. What's tricky is that these changes happen gradually. You might not wake up one morning suddenly with insulin resistance or inflammation. It builds quietly, often for years, before it shows up in blood tests or in how you feel. And because flavored yogurt wears the disguise of a health food, many people never think to look at it as a potential cause. The point isn't to scare you away from ever touching a sweetened yogurt again, but to help you understand that small daily choices really do add up. Swapping that morning cup for something lower in sugar and higher in protein might seem like a tiny change, But over the course of months and years, it can mean better energy, a healthier metabolism, and less risk of the long-term complications that sneak up on so many people. The good news is, cutting back on flavored yogurt doesn't mean giving up a creamy, satisfying breakfast or snack. There are plenty of alternatives that taste great, keep your energy stable, and actually nourish your body. The key is to look for options that are lower in added sugar and higher in protein, healthy fats, and fiber, so you get that slow, steady release of energy that lasts for hours. One of the simplest swaps is switching to plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. It's naturally higher in protein than regular yogurt, which means it keeps you fuller for longer and slows down the absorption of sugars. If you miss the sweetness, add your own toppings, fresh berries, a drizzle of honey or maple syrup, or a sprinkle of cinnamon. That way, you control exactly how much sugar you're getting, and you can balance it with fiber from fruit or crunch from nuts and seeds. If dairy isn't your thing, unsweetened coconut or almond-based yogurts can be a great alternative. Just make sure to check the labels. Some plant-based yogurts can be just as sugary as flavored dairy ones. Pairing them with high-fiber toppings like chia seeds or flaxseed meal not only boosts nutrition, but also helps keep blood sugar steady. Another great option is a protein smoothie. Blend a scoop of protein powder, whey, pea, or hemp, your choice, with unsweetened almond milk, a handful of spinach, frozen berries, and a tablespoon of nut butter. In under 2 minutes, you've got a nutrient-dense breakfast that's portable and energizing. The protein and healthy fats help stabilize your blood sugar, while the fruit and greens add vitamins, minerals, and fiber. If you prefer something you can prep ahead, try overnight oats. Combine rolled oats, unsweetened almond or oat milk, chia seeds, and a little Greek yogurt in a jar. Add fruit for natural sweetness and let it sit overnight in the fridge. In the morning, you have a grab-and-go meal that's filling, balanced, and much gentler on your blood sugar than flavored yogurt. For a completely different route, boiled eggs with avocado toast make a fantastic savory breakfast that won't send your glucose on a roller coaster ride. The healthy fats from avocado, combined with protein from eggs, keep you satisfied for hours. Sprinkle with chili flakes or fresh herbs for extra flavor. The idea isn't to remove joy from your meals. It's to build them in a way that works with your body rather than against it. By making small adjustments, choosing plain over sweetened, adding your own fruit instead of buying it pre-mixed, or opting for savory, protein-rich options, you can keep the flavors you love while avoiding the sugar traps that lead to mid-morning crashes. Over time, your taste buds will adjust, and you might even find that overly sweet yogurt tastes less appealing than it once did. Breaking away from flavored yogurt can feel tricky at first, especially if it's been a staple in your routine for years. Habits form not just because of taste, but because of convenience and comfort. The key is to approach this shift with the mindset that you're not depriving yourself. You're upgrading what you put into your body. Instead of thinking, I can't have this anymore, start thinking, I'm choosing something that gives me better energy and focus. That simple mental reframing turns restriction into empowerment. One of the easiest ways to transition is to go gradual. If you normally eat flavored yogurt every morning, swap it out 2 or 3 times a week to start. On those days, try one of the healthier swaps, plain Greek yogurt with fresh fruit, a smoothie, or overnight oats. This way, your taste buds have time to adjust, and you won't feel the shock of a sudden change. If it's the sweetness you'll miss most, remember that you can still have it, just on your terms. Adding a small amount of honey, maple syrup, or fresh fruit to unsweetened yogurt gives you the flavor you love without the sugar overload. Over time, you can dial back the sweetness and let the natural flavors shine through. Addressing convenience is important too. Many people grab flavored yogurt because it's quick and portable. To keep that ease, prepare your alternatives in advance. Portion out plain yogurt and toppings in small containers, or keep smoothie ingredients ready in the freezer so breakfast is as simple as blend and go. And don't forget about variety. If you replace flavored yogurt with the exact same alternative every day, you might get bored and slip back into old habits. Rotate between savory and sweet options, switch up your toppings, and experiment with different textures so your new choices feel exciting. Ultimately, breaking this habit isn't about losing something. It's about gaining stable energy, clearer focus, and better long-term health. Once you experience the difference in how you feel, That little cup of flavored yogurt will seem far less tempting than the steady vitality you've built in its place. You deserve to feel energized, focused, and ready to take on your day. And that starts with knowing the truth about what's on your plate. Cutting out flavored yogurt might seem like a small change, but the difference it can make in your energy, focus, and mood is huge. Try one of the swaps we talked about today and pay attention to how much steadier you feel. If this helped you, share it with someone who's always tired. And don't miss my next video, where I uncover more hidden energy drainers lurking in everyday foods.